I would like to talk about how to mine the gold from the script. Do you really know how to look for the answers to all your questions in the material? In this video, I will tell you how to really mine the gold from the script. One of the most challenging and liberating things that an actor can learn is this: the script already knows the character better than you ever will by guessing. Legendary theater director Harold Clurman's philosophy was that all the answers are in the material. He had a firm belief that the directors and the actors should not impose any preconceived ideas onto the play, but rather find the truth of their characters through rigorous analysis of the script itself. The actor's job is not to invent answers arbitrarily, but to discover them by listening to and deeply feeling what's in the material. Every question an actor asks: who am I? What do I want? Where did I come from? Why am I doing this? Every question has an answer embedded somewhere in the text. Whenever actors struggle, it's not because the character is unclear. It's actually because the actor has not fully interrogated the material. Let's explore what this concept really means and how to put it into practice. Finding the evidence in the script. Actors sometimes treat the script as incomplete blueprints, and they think things like, the writer didn't tell me enough, or the writing is bad, or the character is underwritten. In reality, the script is a collection of clues. Every line of dialogue, every silence, every action, every contradiction provides evidence for who the character is. Characters are revealed by what they say, what they avoid saying, how they speak, when they speak, also what others say about them, as well as what they do when the stakes are really, really high. If something feels quote-unquote missing, it might be because the actor hasn't yet explored how to really feel what's in the material, not because the writer failed to provide it. Characters tell the truth even when they lie. One common mistake is to fully accept the character at face value. If your character says, "I'm fine," the answer to how they're really doing is not in the words. It's in the context of the given circumstances, the timing of the line in response to what was just said, understanding what just happened in the previous circumstances, and paying attention to what happens immediately afterwards. In other words, the truth of the character lies not in what they declare, but it's in their behavior. A character who constantly insists that they don't care is, in fact, showing you what they do care about. The material always exposes the contradiction somewhere, and contradiction often reveals the truth about the character. A deeper understanding of human psychology is often a beautiful barometer for successfully mining the text. Ask text-based questions, not abstract ones. Actors often ask questions such as, "What's my motivation?" or "What emotions are my character feeling?" These questions are not necessarily wrong, but they might be vague. More can be revealed when the actor can ask specific, deeper questions, such as, "What do I want from this person right now? What are the consequences if I don't get it? What other tactics does my character use when the first one doesn't succeed? What forces me to change my approach?" When you ask questions that the text can answer, you'll have more discoveries. Speaking of discoveries, backstory is discovered, not invented. Backstory can tend to be one of the most misunderstood things in the art of acting. Actors often rush to create a backstory before fully exploring the material. This can lead to choices that don't serve. Instead, try to let your backstory extend from what is already in the writing. For example, how does your character respond to authority? What makes them defensive? What memories are triggered by certain people or places? Also, what behavioral patterns are repeated over and over again by the character? And what does that tell you about the character's vulnerability? If a character avoids intimacy, constantly interrupts, or becomes defensive when questioned, those behaviors and those choices are major clues. Never underestimate the fact that strong evidence pointing to the history of the character appears in different ways throughout the play. The material tells you how the character changes. Character arcs are not something you impose. They're something that you discover as you look at the material. What you're looking for are things such as where the character succeeds, when something or someone blocks them from moving forward, where they suddenly say something or do something that they couldn't say or do earlier in the story, and what happens to the character when they lose something. Change is visible in transitions and adjustments that characters make in response to different events or things that happen in the story. And sometimes it's much more subtle than something that shows up directly in the lines. That's why it's important to try to feel what's underneath the lines, and it's in the writing in very interesting ways. It might appear as a sense of hesitation that's in the scene, that's written in between the lines. It might be a carefully placed pause. Let's focus for a minute on the genius luminary playwrights such as Tennessee Williams, Edward Albee, and Harold Pinter, to name a few. These playwrights had incredible gifts for portraying subtlety and complexity in between their poetic dialogue. In fact, returning to these texts of these incredible playwrights is excellent practice for your creative mind and what it feels like to really mine the material and what these masterful writers have given us as examples of great writing. Playing ideas flatten out the work. Ironically, the more an actor relies on ideas, the less alive the performance becomes. Why is that? Because great acting is not about playing to an idea. It's about living and responding truthfully. The script provides the circumstances, the relationships, the obstacles, and the stakes. When you partner with the material and mine it effectively, the work becomes specific, grounded, and even revelatory. Here's a practical exercise in letting the script answer. Try this with your next scene. Number 1, answer the 5 W's. Where are you? What are the given circumstances? When is this taking place? Who are you talking to? Why is this happening? Number 2, underline or mark where changes occur. Where does something shift in the power dynamic? Or where does your character's intention shift? Or where in the script might the relationship change? Number 3, think in terms of verbs. When you look at the lines and feel what's in between the lines, what is it that you feel your character is doing to the other person with everything that they say and everything that they don't say? Number 4, feel with your empathy what you think is happening to the character. If you can identify what sort of quote-unquote event is happening to your character in the scene and feel it in your heart, you should begin to experience the life of the drama. Many actors are shocked by how much clarity appears when they stop reaching for ideas and truly start listening to the material. Lastly, trust the writer. Great writing is never vague. It is layered and it is precise. From Tennessee Williams' prose-like descriptions of the setting and the overall environment of the play, to Harold Pinter's sparse dialogue, to Edward Albee's disjointed sentences. Their clues dare us not only to uncover them, but to take ownership of them. Here's something to think about. Even in flawed writing, characters still reveal themselves through inconsistency, struggle, and life or death stakes. Your task is not to decorate the role, it's to decode it. When you commit to the concept that all the answers are there, something powerful happens. Preparation becomes about discovery and not about right or wrong. Your choices become clear and not arbitrary, and your performance becomes truthful, not acted. The script is alive. Your job is to feel it and listen to it. And when you do, the character will reveal exactly who they are. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Click on the description below for links to our website and to learn more about the New Collective Acting Studio and our private coaching membership. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.